AITA for scolding my struggling sister when she gives us grief about adopting a baby? My sister, 35F, and her husband, 37 meters, have been struggling with infertility since they got married 12 years ago. They've tried absolutely everything, from medical to spiritual, but unfortunately, nothing works. Now that she's approaching late 30s, they're starting to look into adoption, but it's also been a slow going, since their financial condition isn't exactly stable from multiple rounds of fertility treatments they went through. I can only imagine the struggle, and I sympathize with her. But the stress this situation is bringing her and her husband honestly puts a strain on our relationship. My husband and I, both 30, lost our best friends, Mason and his wife, Kate, 2 weeks ago in a horrible car accident. They left behind their son Pete, who isn't even 2 yet. It was so sudden and so heart-wrenching. We're still grieving, which lowers out contact with a lot of people, including my sister and Bill. Our main concern right now is ourselves and Pete, whose custody has come to us because we're both his godparents, actively engaged in Pete's life since his birth, and because Mason and Kate have neither left a will nor have immediate living relatives who can take him in. We've decided to adopt Pete as soon as we can stomach the process. My husband and I never planned on having kids. And even if we did, this is absolutely not the way we want to go about it. The situation is far from ideal, but we're starting the adoption process yesterday. For Pete's safety if nothing else. We broke the news to our extended families and friends, letting them know that my husband and I won't be very available for a little longer because of this. I know my sister and Bill will have something to say about this. I'm prepared for a few heated text messages or voicemails. However, I didn't expect them to turn up on our doorstep, crying about how unfair it is that we were given everything they wanted, and how we didn't deserve to be parents because we didn't go through what they had to. I've never seen my husband so angry before. He's usually very mild and gentle, but recent events have stretched our patience to the limits. We kicked them off of our porch, and I told my sister before she left that since our pain inconveniences her so much, I won't have her around me and my family at all anymore. I know she made a fuss about it, and now everyone has something to say to us. We turned off our phones, so we don't know which ones are cursing us and which one aren't. I know some are. My husband and I are both in pain and grieving, and we can't trust ourselves to be objective. Did we go too far? Edit. I originally did not want to put this information in, because I don't want everyone to point at it and say this is the reason we're not in the wrong. For the sake of disclosure, my husband and I are both men. No, this is not a case of homophobia. My sister, for all her fault, was the first person to accept me for who I love, and I will not hear a single word about this in the comment. NTA. I'm sorry, but that's just disgusting behavior from your sister. You got everything you wanted? Your close friends died and you have to go through an unexpected adoption for their son who is now orphaned. I know she's stressed, but that's just horrible what she said honestly. NTA. You opened your hearts and your home to a little boy who needed you. And your sister has the gall to make it all about her? Fuck no. Pete lost both his parents. You want unfair? That is unfair. NTA. The fact that you already expected to get some heat from them says a lot about who they are as people. Some people are so caught up in their own narratives. It's ridiculous. Absolutely NTA. I lost my best friend in an accident years ago and know how devastating it is. I can't even imagine if he had left a child behind. I am so sorry you're going through this and that your family is behaving so badly about it. Please remember that you are entitled to be upset. You are entitled to need space. You are entitled to wish you had your friends back. Of course you would rather have them here and for them to be able to raise their own child. You are doing a wonderful thing by adopting him. As hard as it is, he will be so much better off with you than with anyone else. Please be patient with yourself. You all will need time to heal from this. And you will be able to do so together. It does get better. I promise. NTA. Crying about how unfair it is that we were given everything they wanted. I'm pretty sure all you want are your friends back. Your sister is a complete AH for thinking a tragedy in which you lost your friends and this poor kid lost his parents as you being blessed. She's so delusional in her need for a child that she's lost the plot. And I actually fear for any child that she may get her hands on. Children do not complete us. They are not some missing piece we need to be whole. That's a lie fabricated by religious organizations to make women produce children. Your sister needs intensive therapy. And you are right to cut everyone off while you grieve. What exactly does your sister and Bill expect you to do to rectify the unfairness they're feeling? Let Pete go to foster care? Give him to them? This little boy has lost his parents at an age where he'll hold no proper memories of them as he grows. I'm sure you'll tell him all about his mom and dad, but it's not the same. NTA. I commend you and your husband for taking in a child when you didn't want kids of your own. Right now, you're doing the right thing by Pete and by his parents. RIP. Keep everyone negative shut out for as long as you need to. Edited to add. Right now. As per Op's comment below. NTA. Wow. To liken such a tragic sequence of events. And you're stepping up to help this boy navigate the rest of his life. To you taking the easy way into parenting. And you not deserving this happiness that should be theirs. There is no reasoning with people like that. Who are the other people blowing your phones up? How could anyone not sympathize with your loss of two friends? And applaud your intentions with Pete? You know what? It's not fair. It's not fair that your best friends tragically lost their lives. It's not fair that their not yet 2-year-old son lost his parents, both parents. It's not fair that he's so young he probably doesn't even understand fully what happened and what's going on. It's not fair that he's suddenly living with these people who aren't his parents and he misses them. Yeah, it's not fair. But your sister is insane. Does she think that she deserves a kid just because she wants one? Does she think that you're fucking celebrating the death of your friends and this child's parents so that you can have a kid? The top priority here is Pete's health and safety. Absolutely do not, for any reason, allow your sister around him. As a matter of fact, I would say go no contact completely. At least for a while, so you and the poor kid can grieve and adjust to your lives in peace. Fuck. NTA. Of course NTA. I'm so sorry this happened. Try to remember that they made you Pete's godparents for a reason. It's not a decision made lightly. Speaking from my own experience, I saw another comment saying you'd mentioned lack of sleep. Definitely keep him close at least till he adjusts. They make cribs with 3 sides so that you can put his bed level with yours. If he has any comfort items, let him take them to bed. I don't know if you know his old bedtime routine, but if you do, try to keep it up. Routine is everything at his age. If you don't, try to make your own. It doesn't have to be fancy, but a book and snuggle and a lullaby can go a long ways. Seeing how young he is, a small cup of warm milk or weak warm chamomile tea may help him sleep too. My heart goes out to all 3 of you. I can't imagine the grief and pain you are experiencing. Please take all the time you need to process. And get help if you need it. Sending love and warm thoughts your way. Heart. NTA. My wife and I, both 32, have struggled with infertility ourselves. And I'll admit I've had some dark, petty thoughts when I've heard about friends or acquaintances having kids. Things like, I can't believe the universe will let that guy be a father but not me. Intrusive, jealous thoughts are one thing. But I can't imagine openly making someone else's child about myself or our struggle. And actively belittling your grief over the loss of your godchild's parents is abhorrent. I'm sorry for your loss. You've done nothing wrong here. And taking in and raising their child is the single greatest way you could honor their memory. NTA. I can't see in any reasonable way you could be an asshole. You lost your friends and took in their child. You are still grieving, and on some level so is Pete. You are making the best of a bad situation, and I admire you and your husband's decision. Pete's parents knew you and Pete knows you, and you stepped forward to give him the best life you could in honor of your friends. You both deserve to be commended, not attacked. Your sister and Bill are definitely assholes. They lashed out because of pure jealousy. Unfortunately, I can't go into a vitriol-laced description of them because I'd be banned. It's not your fault they haven't been able to conceive or adopt. Adoption in the U.S., I'm assuming you're here, has criteria you must meet to be considered a viable foster or adoptive home. You said they are financially unstable right now. That's not your fault. They have no right to lash out at you for making the best of a horrible situation. NTA. She's clearly upset, but none of this is your fault, and she is way out of line. Emo, you can use whatever words you need to make her stop doing what she never should have done in the first place. NTA. Your sister and Bill accosted you during a time that is very difficult for you. It's not as if you wished to lose your friends and become parents. You became parents due to an unforeseen tragedy. It's life. Although infertility can be extremely difficult, this is just completely bizarre behavior. NTA. What more can you do? You're between a rock and a hard place. The most important thing in the world is Pete and his safety. If adopting him will keep him safe, then what other people think is irrelevant. It's heartbreaking for your sister and brother-in-law. But ultimately, you have to do what's right for the child, and their situation isn't your fault, concern, or problem. It is unbelievably selfish that they're thinking of themselves in this situation rather than the child whose entire world has just come crashing down around him, and you too, who just lost very dear friends. NTA. Op. NTA in the slightest. NTA. You need some time to process everything before you can make any decision. Your sister needs to respect your process and give you the space. This isn't a toy, it's a child life. Fertility issues are so difficult to deal with, but they are never a reason to be a jerk to other people. Especially like that. NTA. Sorry for your loss. You're doing the right thing under difficult circumstances, and no one should act like you got some kind of windfall. NTA. NTA, and you and your husband are amazing people for taking the little buddy in. NTA. Even if the news was a bit painful to your sister, which we can empathize and understand that she has had a bad journey trying to be a mother, she made the conscious decision for her and her husband to get in their vehicle, drive to your house, and throw a tantrum on your front door step over it. That's not a mentally healthy mindset and position she is in. A supportive sister can feel sad for her own position as well as your position. She is choosing to only wallow in her own griefs and have no perspectives of others. I sure hope she emotionally grows before she goes down what can be an emotionally tumultuous journey adoption can be. Op. You are doing amazing. I wish you hugs and blessings for your new little family, but also condolences on your friends and the reason you have become parents. They are concerned about themselves. You are concerned about Pete's well-being. Guess who deserves to be parents more? NTA. Cut anyone who can't put a child's well-being before their own feelings. Nope. NTA. Your sister and Bill are huge assholes for scolding you for adopting your godson as you're devastated by the deaths of your best friends. How absolutely vile of them.
If you enjoyed this video, please check out our playlists full of similar content. AmITheAsshole is like doom scrolling for your ears. Please like, share, and subscribe.